So I had this realization the other day that the reason why I'm able to keep my wardrobe so like minimal and streamlined is that when I buy something new, as soon as I can tell that it's not working out for me, I try to list it and resell it as soon as possible and just get it out of my closet. And I think that feeling when you realize something's not working out, it comes pretty quickly after you buy something. But sometimes we just push it back and we think, I'll keep trying to wear it, and it ends up just hanging in our closet for years and years, and then slowly accumulates over the years and becomes super overwhelming. So the reason for this little story is that I'm just going to be doing a super mini closet declutter right now because there's a couple of pieces that have been bugging me lately that I know I need to just pass them on, and hopefully somebody else will love them. And I'm not going to be doing like a giant declutter because I did do that at the beginning of the year and that was really helpful. So my wardrobe is pretty streamlined already, so it's just going to be like a mini declutter, and then I'm also going to share kind of what I bought so far this year and if my purchases are sticking to the wish list that I made for myself, and just kind of how my wardrobe is doing so far. So the first item that ended up on the chopping block is this pair of sneakers that I bought at the beginning of last year. And it's not that it was a bad sneaker, but the problem that I had with it is that it was so stiff and it was really hard to put on and off. It was like a struggle to wear it, and it kind of just felt really bulky and like chunky on my foot. I think I posted them on my Poshmark like a month ago and they ended up selling already, and I honestly just feel better. I feel like a weight has lifted and I don't have to look at them and feel guilty that I'm not wearing them. So yeah, I should have just paid attention to that feeling much earlier, and then I could have moved on with my life much sooner. So the next item that I'm decluttering is this gray t-shirt. I haven't really found myself like wanting to wear it or style it for any outfits in real life or for any outfit videos, and I think that I just don't really like the gray color for a t-shirt. So I'm just gonna move it to my loungewear, and then I can still grab it if I really want to wear it one day. But again, I'm kind of just trying to get rid of that guilt that I feel sometimes when I'm like, why am I not wearing this? Why isn't it just hanging in my closet for a year? Because I really want every item that I have to really be something I'm excited to wear and something that I'm actually wearing. So this next item I just bought a couple months ago, and of course that always feels sad, but it was this button down that I grabbed at my local thrift store. And if you've been following my channel, you know that I kind of was going through a lot of like stress and anxiety over the war in Ukraine, and thrifting was really helping me to just kind of cope and get my mind off of what was happening. And so I did buy this shirt, and I only ended up getting it for $2. Not super sad that I'm gonna be decluttering it. The problem with this guy is that it's actually really worn out and I kind of feel frumpy when I'm wearing it, and that's not the vibe that I want to have. So I'm just gonna donate it back to Goodwill. Again, I just spent $2 on it, so I don't feel bad to just send it back there, and hopefully someone else will find it and enjoy it much better. So I just want to say I'm aware that I'm only decluttering 3 items, not a whole lot, but again, it's because I'm really happy with where my wardrobe is at. And it's also because I do these mini edits every season, and it really helps to make sure everything that I have in my wardrobe is things that I'm loving. So yeah, I highly recommend to do these little wardrobe declutters. But next, I just want to share how much items I've bought so far this year. If you watched my video where I was setting my goals for my wardrobe this year, I was wanting to buy only 20 items for the year. So altogether so far this year, I've bought 11 items, and one of them I'm going to be letting go, this gray shirt, so we'll just subtract it from the total of the items that I'm keeping. And I kind of thought it would be interesting to separate the items that I have into categories of what was on my wish list and what I'm actually like buying intentionally, and then the items that I kind of bought on an impulse. And I think that'll be just kind of fun to see where my mind was at when I was shopping. So my first purchases of the year were actually all impulse purchases. I ended up going to a local thrift store and I bought 5 items, and then I returned one and I resold another that didn't work for me. But what I ended up keeping is this white mock neck, and I still really like it. I'm excited to kind of wear it more this month since spring is still happening and it's still a little bit cold. And then I got this cardigan, and also I have loved this guy so much. I've worn it so much. It really kind of just brightens up my day when I wear it because this color just feels like really light and airy, perfect for spring. And then I also picked up this jacket, and I've only worn it once so far, but I really loved how I felt in it. I'm sure you guys have heard me say that I'm not really a blazer person, but this feels like very not stiff and a little bit less structured than a blazer. But yeah, I kind of really like having like a more dark, serious piece in my wardrobe to kind of go with all of my like soft colors and shapes that I usually like to wear. I think it's gonna be really fun to style, and I'm looking forward to wearing it this year. So my next two purchases were also impulse at a thrift store, and that was that gray shirt. And then I also grabbed this white button down. This was really speaking to me. It's like made from like this white material, and I've actually worn this a lot also. It's been a really nice addition to my wardrobe. So even though this was not something that I was really looking for specifically, it's ended up being like a really nice purchase that I'm happy that I made. And then my last impulse purchase was this pair of Everlane cheeky jeans. I got them secondhand on Poshmark, and I think again I was just online browsing to distract myself from what was happening, and so I bought them on an impulse, but I have loved them so much, and I've worn them a lot over the last month that I've had them. So this again turned out to be kind of a great impulse purchase, which doesn't happen very often. So everything else that I bought was on my wish list for this year, and some of the items like I really thought I wanted for a long time, but we'll see how I feel now that I got them. Let's talk about it. So first up I have this pink sweater, and I'm sure you guys have seen me wearing it a lot lately. I got this on Poshmark also, and I kind of have been wanting to try this cut of a sweater from Everlane for a few years now. But what finally encouraged me to pull the trigger is that I've noticed that I've really enjoyed wearing pink, and then I saw this sweater pop up on there for a really good price, and so I got it for around $30–40, and I've really enjoyed it so far. So this next shirt that I bought, I also had on my wish list for many years, and it's kind of silly because it's really just a basic t-shirt. I got this from Poshmark, but it's originally from Everlane, and for some reason I have been wanting to buy this for a long time. I saw it on a couple of people and it looked really nice, but I think it goes for like $40 on their website, and I was not interested in buying a shirt like this for $40. So when I finally saw it on Poshmark, I was like, okay, let's buy it. This is the moment I've been waiting for my whole life. And yeah, I'm honestly kind of underwhelmed by it. I can't really remember what exactly I was thinking, why I wanted this so much. There's nothing really wrong with it. It's totally fine, but I'm just not really sure why I wanted to buy it so much. So I did finally find myself a raincoat that I was looking for. This is what it looks like. It's just really basic. This I got also from Poshmark. It's originally an Everlane jacket. I've been really happy just to have like this color to add to my outfits. I got this probably 2 weeks ago, and so far I've worn it for walks and errands and have been happy with it. Okay, and the last two items that I bought this year so far are shoes. You guys may remember that I was looking for a pair of black boots to replace my Chelsea rain boots that I wear all the time and that look a little bit run down at this point. And so I did end up getting these. These are from Dolce Vita. I tried a couple of different shoes. It was actually quite the adventure. I tried a couple of different styles, but none of them were really doing it for me. And then when I finally tried these, I'm really happy with them. I think they're gonna be really nice for the fall and winter. They have kind of like a pebbled leather on them, and this is actually the only item that I have bought new so far this year, so I'm kind of proud of that. But yeah, looking forward to wearing these, and hopefully they're not gonna be too hard to break in. And my last purchase for this year are these Tiva sandals. I kind of already talked about these in my travel capsule wardrobe video. These were also on my wish list. I wanted a pair of like sportier sandals that I could wear hiking. I also got them on Poshmark, and so far so good. So again, this was 11 items, and 5 were on my wish list for the year and 6 were not. So I don't feel super great about that, but now that I feel a little bit more calmer and my anxiety is a little bit lower, I think that I'm gonna get back to my wish list, and hopefully the last purchases that I make of this year are gonna be super intentional and add a lot of value to my wardrobe. So the next video that I'm going to be putting out for you guys is going to be my spring capsule wardrobe. Excited to share that with you guys. I think it's finally complete and I feel happy with it. So if you don't want to miss that video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.